Hey guys, episode 11 of the Bitcoin and crypto portfolio series. A bit of a slow week really in the last week, so I thought I'd go into detail on something else this episode, which was the stock to flow model by Plan B. But yeah, just so quick update, down sort of a couple of thousand since last week. So Bitcoin up slightly, but it's the altcoins that have taken a bit of a hit. So Bitcoin up 3%, but Ethereum sort of down a couple of percent, and then some of the smaller coins 25% on Omisa Go, but longer term it's sort of probably pumped up a little bit too hard. Again, just sort of showing you on the monthly, it doesn't quite capture the big rise. For show you on the 3 month, it sort of went up too high, but a couple of months ago it was less than around about £1, so was expecting that to maybe come down. A couple of other sort of smaller coins have had reasonable drop down, but if Bitcoin keeps going up, I would expect these to sort of snap back and push on. Some of this is sort of being tied to the decentralized finance sort of push now with some of the newer coins and all the sort of lending coins, and it's all a bit of hype at the moment, but a lot of it is tied to Ethereum, so certainly keep an eye on Ethereum. But yeah, to show you the longer term, this is the stock to flow model from Plan B. As you can see, I think on Twitter his handle is 100 trillion USD. So this is sort of measuring the existing supply versus how much new supply is coming onto the market sort of every day, every year. So with the halvings, if I switch this into landscape, you can sort of see a little bit better there. So the blue line, you can sort of see a very faint light blue line is sort of following the supply. Sort of in the early days it was almost sort of straight up, and the blue line is a 365 day average, so it's a little bit smoother, but you can see the purple line is sort of pretty much when you have the halvings. So you can see in sort of mid 2016 it shot up, so that would have been the day, pretty much the day of the halving, and then that sort of moves on steady for another 4 years, and then mid 2020, May just gone, it shoots up to the sort of new high. So that is basically half the new supply coming on to the existing supply. A little bit difficult to explain, but sort of similar to gold. You have whatever it is, 180,000 tons of gold in existence, and so much gets mined per year, but that's sort of fairly constant on what is getting mined, so the stock to flow sort of stays the same. Whereas with Bitcoin, every 4 years the flow, if you like, the new supply gets halved, so it's now sort of becoming a more scarce asset, basically. The stock to flow is now sort of going to be similar to gold, and that you can effectively sort of model the price based on that stock to flow, sort of comparing to other assets. So the 365 day, the light blue line is something that you can see the price sort of oscillates around, but does sort of follow it reasonably well. If we can zoom in on sort of the more current timeline. So again, the purple line is the halving, and so then sort of 1 year out from the halving, the light blue line sort of catches up. So that's then the average has caught up to 1 full year of new supply. So and the sort of red dots that you can see right in the middle is the current price. And we're now, so the light blue line by sort of towards the end of next year has gone up to $100,000, and before the halving it was sort of hovering around $8,000 or $9,000. So, and on that steady curve upwards, I believe tomorrow the light blue line is at $15,000. So with a $11,000 price today, it's a little bit sort of undervalued compared to the average stock to flow, and I would think this may start seeing a reversion to that average, as we've seen on previous previous cycles. In the last halving in sort of 2016-17, it did sort of lag a little bit below the light blue line, but sort of kept, every now and then it would get further and further away, and it would sort of snap up and get somewhat nearer to the light blue line. So predicting sort of by the end of next year, it should hopefully sort of snap up to around about $100,000, or like last time it may even overshoot, and it could go to 200,000-300,000 and then come back. If I show you sort of the previous halving, so you can see the price, this was 2016 and 17, the price really sort of hugs the light blue line fairly well up, and then right at the end of the halving, you can see it sort of shoots up, and that was the all-time high of 20,000. So if we get a similar sort of thing, it will go steadily up towards the end of next year, up to 100,000. But there's potential for sort of a big shoot up to maybe 200,000 or 300,000, and then there'd probably be another sort of bear market. But yeah, so that's my sort of long-term hope on Bitcoin, and so keeping this portfolio certainly for the next couple of years, and hopefully as it starts sort of rising up, I'll start looking to cash out. I would think maybe if the Bitcoin goes above all-time highs, $20,000, then I may sort of consider selling maybe one Bitcoin or some altcoins, and slowly sort of average my sales out on the way up into probably my Trading 212 Invest account. So leave your thoughts in the comments below if you've got any queries on the stock to flow model. It's a little bit complicated for sort of newer people, but leave if you got any queries, by all means ask, and like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you soon.